Okay, so in this video, we will learn how we can do the parameterization. So the parameterization concept is applied whenever a user is putting something. We are going to Jmeter store website, and from here we are clicking on the sign in page, then clicking on the registered now, and then filling all these details, and then saving this account information of the user. So once a user is registered on this website, he cannot re-register with the same user input. If a user is already registered with this user ID, he cannot re-enter the same user ID and will save his account information. If he's doing that, he will get a 500 internal server error. So let's go back to the Jmeter. So here in the Jmeter, we already have recorded the flow, and he will go to the Jmeter store URL. Then he will click on the enter the store link. Then he will click on the sign in page. Then he will click on the registration page link, and then he will put all his account information. There are multiple parameters, and for each of these parameters you can see the static value that we have used for the recording purpose. So these values are static one. So in order to test these parameters with multiple values, we have to do the parameterization. So for that, we can source the output file. So for sourcing the CSV file, so here we can have a CSV file where we can put multiple values for these parameters. That what we can do, we can just click on the add. On the thread group, we can click on add and go to config element and put CSV dataset config element. And here we have to provide the name of the file, parameter.csv. And if I will open this parameter.csv file, just to show you, here you can see these are the variables that I have created for different parameters. So these are the variables that I have created for the username. This is for the password parameter. This is for the repassword parameter, and so on for the first name, last name, email, phone, address 1, address 2, city, state, shape. So all these variable I have created, and these are the values. These are the multiple values that I have passing to these variables. Now, how to use these variables? I have linked one source file. Now, from this source files, I want to read those multiple values. So here I have identified that on the 37 request, we are getting this parameter, and right now we have some static values that we have recorded. Now to the parameterization, I will show you. I have just copied this 37 request one more time. I will show you how you can do the parameterization. So here I have passed the variable name that we have created in the CSV file. So for each these parameters, I have passed those variable name, and except for the country, I have provided the variable name for each of these parameters, whatever that I have created in the CSV file. Okay, now once you will link the source file and you call those variables corresponding to those parameters, you can see now you also wanted to see what is the response that we will get. So here what I will do, I will run this for one user. Just right click and click on validate. We'll go to view result tree. Here you can see so here you can see this request is failing with response code 500, because here in this request this user is already registered. So that's why this is getting failed. Now here if I will go to this request, here I'm getting the value, this one from the CSV file that we have provided. like this. Now, if I will run this script once again, let me disable this one because this. Let's run this one more time again. It would fail. The request number 37 would fail because the user is already registered. So let's test it. Validate. No. And if I go here, it will scaling because now here you can see this username, password, all these values are getting called from this CSV file. And to call this CSV file, you just need to write dollar, and then inside this curly braces, you have to pass the variable name. So I have done it for all those parameters. And once you will do it, you can see these values are getting passed for multiple values. So if I will set this numbers, for example, I wanted to test it with 3 users where I'm getting the multiple values or not. Also, I will add one more debug sampler to test. Now I will clear it and run it for 3 users. So 3 multiple values will be selected for all those parameters. Let's test it. Click on run. Now here the first request will fail because that user is already registered, and that's why it is failing. And if I will go to the first user, you can see this is the username already registered. Now if I will go to the second thread, here I am having this username, and that's why it is getting passed. And similarly, here you can see this is the third value that we are getting, and all these values are getting called from this CSV file. So we have already linked this CSV file, and then we are calling it the corresponding parameters. So this is how you can do the parameterization.